Hi there, this is Mike Holmes with 5 Minutes to Better Sundays, and today we're talking about people or preaching. The contrast of do we have a church that is built on preaching of the Word of God, or do we have a church that is built on building relationships with people? Well, frankly, it has to be both, and I think we know that. We can't preach to empty pews or empty chairs and expect any conversions, that's for sure. So we have to have people, and there has to be relationships. But what is the balance there? Well, most churches are, and pastors are very good on the preaching side because they've been to seminary and they've learned to create the sermons that they want. So I'm going to kind of stay away from that. Keep up the preaching, give them the Word of God, give it to them straight, and that's just fine. That's what we need to do. But folks, we also need to take time to look at the people side of things. And let me give you just a few tips here that I wrote down that are very, very important and things that we've done at our church have been tremendously helpful to us. Number one is make sure that you greet people and are friendly to them. We have some greeters at the door, and we've talked about that in the past. So however you do that is fine. But greet them, and then also have your people be friendly and welcome them no matter how they're dressed or where they came from or those type of things. That's absolutely essential. A second thing that's very important that we do at our church that is really a very nice thing that I think that kind of mixes the people up is we have a handshaking time. And we start the service, kind of get a little bit through and have everyone standing, then we play a little music, and they are able to greet and handshake with one another, and we have people meet each other, and some of our main workers are very focused on going to greet the new guests that are there if they're first timers, second time, third, whatever it happens to be, and really let people feel that they are welcome. So don't miss that important thing. Some churches do that very short, and it's only like 30 seconds. Ours is a little longer. We take a little bit more time with that, and we really think that has been a powerful thing that has helped. Another little thing that helps on the people side, and you may not be able to do this the way your building is configured or your auditorium or chapel is configured, but we do. We have our chairs that are pointed a little bit towards each other, and we have kind of a curve in our chairs. And we have chairs, not pews, but even if I had pews, and we did have them at one place we met, we tilted them just a little bit so that people can kind of look across and see the other people. They can catch the expressions. They can kind of, and again, it's not a distraction. It's a bonding. It's like, hey, I'm laughing at the same time. I'm crying at the same time. I'm bonding. And folks, emotions are part of what God created us with, those things, and they need to be used properly. And I'm not talking about, the wow or wild kind of crazy emotions, but just the idea that you're feeling the same thing as other people. So tilt your chairs a little bit. That works really good. The other thing that we do is we try to make sure that we have what we call ample time at the end of the service and not chase everybody out right away, flick the lights or stand at the door and kind of usher them all out or start cleaning up or, like say flipping the lights off or closing doors. We want people to hang around as long as possible. And one thing that has helped us do that is we measure that time. We take a look at the clock and see when the last person leaves church, the non-staff person is. And our church people, we're church plants, so we're here to build those relationships. We hang around. None of us go out for lunch. We stay and meet with those people. We don't hustle off to lunch. And so that's an important thing. Now, I wrote down a few things that we just kind of need to be aware of that really cuts into the relationship side. And you'll have to be cautious on this and again, balance. But if you continually preach extremely late, especially on a Sunday morning, and you have lengthy messages, people are hungry. And they're going to go home. I mean, people have been sitting there for an hour or more, maybe an hour and a half in a sermon, lengthy times. Like, oh boy, I'm out of here. They're not going to hang around, build a relationship. So, pastor, when you speak long, and you need to do that sometimes, be careful about how you do that. Make sure that is, don't go to the well too many times there. The other thing is if a pastor neglects the people side of it, and he constantly says, hey, it's all about the Bible, all about preaching, all that. You need to understand that people are coming to your church to hear the Bible, but also they have friends there. They love each other. They are a family and enjoy spending time together. So don't be neglecting the people's side, and make sure that there's ample focus. And if there's, like, say, that some of these things happen, I also wrote this down, that make sure your programming times have ample time. So if there's like a between service time, don't keep it real short. Many churches have, like, Sunday school ends at 2 minutes to 11 and church starts at 11. I suggest that you spread that out to 10 or 15 minutes, and so people get a chance to really kind of bond and fellowship with each other and talk and those type of things. And the last thing that is just so important as a pastor and for everybody else is learn their names. Create that relationship by learning what their name is and who they are, and talk to them. Now, you probably say, oh, I'm terrible at names. It's like, guess what? So is almost everybody. It's something you have to work on. Get to know them, talk with them, make a few mistakes, and eventually you'll get to know them. So that's a powerful thing. Occasionally, we do about once a month, we do Name Tag Sunday, where we put the name tags on so everybody gets to meet everybody, and sort of that mix them up, go, oh, you're Mr. Smith, or you're Jim, or whatever. That's a powerful thing. So those are just some tips you can do. But remember that this whole relationship thing is a balance with the Bible side of it. And you cannot neglect one or the other. We found out that, folks, a good friendship will last much longer than a sermon. I mean, a sermon might be 30 or 40 minutes long, but when you bond people together and they help each other spiritually, they counsel one with another, they love on one another, and do all those things that the Bible talks about with bearing one another's burdens, that is part of the Christian walk and the Christian life as well. And if you want some amazing Sundays, you want some just awesome Sundays, make sure that you focus and have a good, tight grasp that the relationships that are going on in your church are extremely important. So this is Mike at reachkeep.com. If you'd like to follow us, you can click on the button there that subscribes you to the YouTube link, and you can just kind of stay in touch with us through the YouTube videos. Or you can go to reachkeep.com and regularly read our blog and follow up and get some things that will help you with your church as well. So we appreciate you very much, and thanks for being with us today with 5 minutes to Better Sundays.